Hey, this is Mike Drop 5 doing a video here to answer some questions I've been getting in private message. Actually, one question that I get all the time, it's pretty much the same question. How am I finding these setups? So I'm going to answer that in two parts. The first part is the screener I use. The second part is go learn price action trading. So we got the second part down. let's go to this part. Finviz.com. You can go here to screener, and you'll see some tabs here, and this is where you enter your different parameters to search out of the entire market things that might be of interest to you happening in a chart. So like I'm going to go here right now. I'm looking for shorts because the S&P is testing resistance at the moment. The weekly close will be very important. It will tell us a lot about whether this little bounce that we've been seeing is going to end up being a thing or fizzling out. But regardless, the S&P is testing resistance. So I'm looking for short setups. If it was testing support, I'd be adding a few long setups. I'm always hedged a little bit in between longs and shorts, and I take good setups in both directions at all times. I just weight myself according to what I see in the S&P based on its price action. So with that said, we're going to look for some shorts today. So we're going to go here to market cap. I usually do plus mid. So I'm getting like fairly good liquidity because I want my price action to be dependable. But we're going to go to plus small today. Sometimes I do that too. Just you have to be a little more careful to look at the daily chart and make sure there's no gaps and choppiness there. Because if you see signs of illiquidity, just steer clear. I'm not giving you financial advice. There is no financial advice happening here. However, I steer clear on those. So let's go here to stocks. We have stocks only. That way we're into the stuff I'm looking for. Technical. I'm going to click that. And this is where the magic happens. So how do I look for good short setups? This is what I've discovered. I've tinkered with this stuff for a while, and I came up with this little combination of things that does give me pretty good results for short setups. Week up, we're going to go quarter down. Now let's think about this for a minute. Why would I do week up, quarter down? I want something that is going into a gradual or into a more general downtrend, but that is having a week up, meaning like it is doing that last little death throw, that last little bounce of hopium before it confirms rejection at the top of range and then dumps completely. Because those are the best shorts, guys and gals, if you're listening. So let's do this. Let's go week up, quarter down, and 52-week high-low. I'm going to put in 0 to 10% below high because, I just want it near the high. And we've seen sort of a quarter down for this thing. So, there may be a better way to do this. I don't know, but I tend to, out of 2 pages of results, I should get at least 1, maybe 2 that look solid, like good shorts. And you can go through these over here. You can look at the charts, or you can go through the sectors, the industries. You can go like, hey, I don't like real estate right now. I think it's going to dump. So let's go here and look at that chart. But personally, what I do is I immediately go to the charts because I don't even want to know what the industry is. I don't even want to know any information about these things. I just want to look through these charts. And when I know a good setup and I see a good setup, it doesn't really matter whether the industry is eventually going to go up or down. I just know that my setup is likely to play out from a technical perspective because I know where people made their purchases and got trapped, and when price, they're underwater and then price comes back up to that range, they're going to be relieved to get out at break even, and that is never going to change because humans' emotions do not change. So let's just look through these a little bit. This one box was not here yesterday, so I want to take a look at this one. And I like to trade off the weekly because I have a day gig that I enjoy, and this is just what I do in the evenings, and you know, every coffee break and every little time that I want to tinker around, I look at charts. But I have another gig, so I'm not in front of the market or in front of the computer during market hours most of the time. Not really watching it that closely, so I trade more of like, oh hey, the daily close did this, that tells me this. And that's why price action is such a useful tool with this. Anyway, 1 second looking at this, I see this. Boom, there's your high. Boom, there's the level. That's the most important level on this chart if you're looking for shorts. And I am. And there's a reason this is what it is. And I'm going to let Trader Sumo explain that to you. I'll put some links in the comments to some videos that you can watch on that. I learned from him. He's an amazing trader. He has a great course. And the cool thing about it is that I paid a lot of money and I signed an NDA to take his course. But you guys are in luck because he subsequently released the first volume of that course. It's a 3-volume course. He put the first volume for free on YouTube, and there's a bunch of videos there that you can go check out. So the most important concept I think that I learned as a trader was how to technically define trend the way the pro traders do it. And from a price action perspective, people can look at an uptrend and go, that's an uptrend. But very few people can identify when that uptrend has been violated. Technically, they just don't know exactly where that is on a chart, most of them. And that was like one of the most important things I learned, along with he has a video on trading trend starts, which is just worth its weight in gold. Like I watched that thing probably 30 times, and the first 20 times I think I learned something subtle that I hadn't seen before. So anyway, this is the level. Long story short, that's the level. So this is in a downtrend, and we have yet to go back and test highs from the realization that this is in a downtrend. This was your signal candle, and this is your retest and failure of highs, most likely. You know, things surprise us. Markets don't always behave the way they should and all that. That's why we use stop losses on every trade. And then also we put our profit targets and our stop losses in at the time we enter our orders, because we are good traders, right? Not financial advice, just saying. All right, here we go. Box looking good. I'm gonna probably take the trade right in here, right in there. That's where I'm gonna put my orders. Maybe even like throw some orders up in here with a stop right there, and that'll give you good risk reward to first PT versus your stop loss. All right, so, or my stop loss. I'm not giving you advice. You guys do your own price action analysis, but I'm taking this trade. All right, let's go to another one. Let's look through the couple of these here. As you can see, the screener has produced some very intriguing looking short setups. Like, these do look good, especially when we go to the weekly, which is where I like to trade. So do that. This one's a little muddy in here. I'm not loving all of this muddiness. However, I will say that this was that it definitely, is looking, I mean, it's just a matter of where your short is. And I'd probably be kind of conservative and start here and then put my zone up to here and then maybe have a stop loss here. It's probably what I'll do. Yeah, that's not a bad trade. It's not, it gets a B on my rating. It's not an A quality trade. It's a B. It will probably dump from this range, but the reason I don't give it an A is because it doesn't have that really obvious setup. Like, let me give you a good one here. This one came up a few weeks back, and I put my orders in. I think it was like here at the time, and I put my orders in, and they just got filled here. So I'm short on this, but I think it could go to here. Could even go to right here. I could even see that happening. Yeah, that would not be a bad place for an entry. So your range might be like from here to here, whatever. I just like this in general because I think that this is about as obvious of a short setup as you could possibly hope for on a weekly time frame. It's beautiful, That was your level to hold. We got below it. Price is returning to confirm rejection of highs. And the risk reward is manageable. It's not like, actually, when I ran the risk reward tool, which I do on every trade, if my stop loss was here, normally my eye would go to here and that would be my entry. But I think because of the risk reward tool, I had to like scatter from here to like top of these candles here with a stop here. I think that's what it was in my orders. But regardless, I'm already into this trade to some degree, and maybe I'll get more heavily short with it if it pops and wicks up there. But I'm rambling. So let me just say that this looks like, if you're not a price action trader and you can't see why this is the level to short, or this range above into here, I would say that you can look at this and see maybe a diamond reversal, or maybe if you're more of a pattern trader, you could see like this is a Quasimodo pattern. But to my eye, I just look at it and I go, oh, yep. This was resistance. We got above it and immediately lost it. So I'm going to take my trade here to here. That gives you a couple of examples of stuff, of how I think and how I get these guys, and then what I do is I screen for them on Finviz. Then I head over to Trading View, and I put them in there, and I actually dig in a little bit deeper into them, and I run the risk reward tool on my trade to make sure that it's at least 3. So in other words, the distance from my average entry, if I'm scattering orders, should be the distance from my average entry to my stop loss should be 1/3 of the distance from my as compared to my entry to my first profit target, the first obvious naturally occurring profit target. So I go ahead and I look at all those things, I put them in, and then I take the risk reward tool last. It should give me a 3 or above, and if not, then it's not a trade that smart money would take, and I want to be smart money. All right, so hope that helps. I'm going to sign off here, and keep the questions coming because I like answering them, and I will see you guys around. Happy trades.